Hey y'all, we are back with another dense update. Here we go. Andrew Hiller made a controversial post on his Instagram in regards to Brent Fikowski's retirement. His opinion being that he believes Fikowski didn't retire because Dave Castro was not removed from his position on the sport team. He posted a poll to that reel. It would be hard to show up to work after asking the owner to fire your manager. Agree or disagree? As of yesterday, the poll was 60% agreed, 40% disagreed. After scrolling through the comment section, it was kind of the same sentiment there. Andrew Hiller's followers are very loyal, as well as his haters. I did notice one CrossFit Games athlete came to Brent's defense. That was Jason Hopper. He commented, false. Brent told me he was going to retire after the game long before the PFAA released any requests. But they weren't requests, they were demands. Hiller's response to that comment, you say that like the thought to ask for his removal wasn't in his head before posting it. Hiller goes on to talk about all of this in a recent video that he put out yesterday to elaborate on this post and really break it all down for everybody.
Since he is retiring, I gotta throw the Andrew Hiller book at him.
After reading the post, reading all the comments, and watching Hiller's video, what I take away from it is Hiller is not trying to diminish Brent's career. In fact, he did comment on Brent Fikowski's retirement post on Instagram. We all know Brent Fikowski is a phenomenal athlete. In fact, we know all these athletes are amazing at what they do. They are the 1% of our community. They are the best of the best. That's really just common sense. And for the rest of us peasants who just do CrossFits in an affiliate every day with our friends and family, we will never fully comprehend what it is like to compete at such an elite level for so many years, just as Brent did so successfully. However, I think that some people in the community fail to understand that you can celebrate, you can be a fan, you can cheer for the athletes, but you can still call them out on their bullshit. That's the wonderful thing about living in a free country. As of right now, everyone's still allowed to have an opinion. CrossFit is such a unique and tight-knit community. We suffer together, we celebrate together, but we also hold each other accountable. And I think for many years, everybody understood that. I fear now there is a growing number of people in the community who have lost sight of that. And maybe we could argue there's a time and place for certain things. If you never have anybody calling you out and you're always surrounded by people who are always going to agree with you and fluff you up, you will never be able to understand anyone else's perspective. You probably will never be a fan of Andrew Hiller. Rich Froning, Angela DeCicco, and Rory McKernan sat down to talk about the upcoming presidential election. I know nobody wants to hear a celebrity's political stance. In our community, he is a celebrity. He talks about some discussions he's recently had with his team about hosting some exclusive Mayhem athlete events, giving those athletes opportunity to win prize money.
How cool would it be? Mayhem athlete only. Winner takes 10 grand. Wow. So any sponsor wants to jump on that.
And also possibly bringing back the Mayhem Classic. He asks the viewers what they think about that. Go into the comments section, bring back the Mayhem Classic. Angela DeCicco, CrossFit Games team athlete, talks a little bit about Wodapalooza SoCal. And let's just say he's pretty blunt.
No, I'm serious. It was really bad.
Rich talks about the Mayhem athletes that are headed to the Rogue Invitational. And he does mention that this will be Samuel Cornway's last individual elite competition. That is not coming from the horse's mouth. That is coming from the goat.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
Rogue announced 7 of the 9 individual events for the Invitational. Most of the events look like some good old-fashioned CrossFit with some strongman twists. Friday's event 3, epically named Braveheart, has a wall walk complex in it. Pretty interested to see what that might be. If it'll be just one wall walk with some strict handstand push-up. Details on the complex have not been released yet. Saturday's event 4, Hunting Haggis, brings back the log muscle-ups.
The work is this just like we discussed it in Heat 1. Athletes need to meet themselves where they're at.
Event 5, Devil's Tail, will feature a single-arm devil press. 100 pounds for the men, 70 pounds for the lady. Event 6 that evening is still to be determined. And then on Sunday, event 8 will also use the side dumbbell for a single arm overhead walking lunge. And then the final event Sunday evening is still to be determined. Most all of the athletes have made their way to Aberdeen, Scotland, some making stops in the UK for family trips, except for Emily Roth, one of the few top 10 CrossFit Games athletes that still works a full-time job.
So yeah, I say I work full-time.
I mean, you do work full time.
It is sure to be an exciting weekend, and maybe someone will have the stones to put a camera in the athlete warm-up area so we can catch the first glimpse of when Laura and Gabby see each other for the first time. Also, don't forget to head over to the Heat 1 app to pick your top 10 male and female for the Rogue Invitational and call your shots for each event. You can also create your own private league with your friends in your gym. Luka Dukic posted that he is in for the UAE Storm Games. This is an event he has previously won twice. That event is held the 18th and 19th of January, and they do have an Instagram page that you can follow for more details. The Wodapalooza Miami individual qualifier has wrapped up. Barbell Spin posted an article with a list of the athletes. The top 20 men and women from the elite divisions have all received an invitation. There were some minor changes on the female side. Liz Weihart's 1-rep max hang clean and jerk was reduced from 205 pounds to 195 pounds following the video review process. And Soling Beltran's workout 1 and 2 have been completely removed from the leaderboard. Barbell Spin states that it's likely she did not submit a video for those workouts, but that is not confirmed. Noah Ohlsen completed his Ironman in Panama City Beach, Florida over the weekend. Noah finishing 122nd in the open male category and 40th in his age group. The 2.4-mile swim in the ocean just off the pier took Noah an hour and 6 minutes. He took about an 8-minute transition break into the 112-mile bike, the bike portion taking him 5 hours and 31 minutes, averaging about 20 miles per hour, and then finishing up on the 26.2-mile run, taking him 4 hours and 8 minutes, averaging 9 minutes and 32 seconds per mile. And now Noah will be headed off to the Rogue Invitational next weekend to compete as an individual there. Pretty impressive. I wonder if he'll get the Ironman tattoo. Training think tanks Max L. Haig, Brandon Dorman, Kyle Ruth, and the man behind the camera, CTP, sat down to talk about the upcoming 2025 CrossFit Games season. Now, a lot of people have already been talking about this and speculate on what that might look like. This is one of the best in-depth conversations around all that speculation.
Not for the elites, because I think the elites just want money and opportunity and a place to be more recognized.
They really dive into it all. How they believe some of the bigger name athletes are going to react to no semifinal in-person events and how this might impact open registration. They talk about these new leagues popping up. We already know about Will Morad's league. They talk about the possibility of more leagues forming and how that might impact the season, potentially splitting the community up, splitting up the fans, splitting up sponsorship money. It's a really good podcast. Go over to Training Think Tank's YouTube channel and check it out. Now, we all know there will be some kind of season. At the most recent affiliate summit held at CrossFit Central in Austin, Texas, there was really no information provided to those affiliates on exact dates of anything and what the season will look like. It was basically an 8 to 5 day of lectures, and I heard there was even a little bit of a pickleball tournament going on. Scott on Clydesdale Media did bring up something that I think a lot of people aren't really talking about, and that is the fan perspective of this. Now, I understand that CrossFit wants to be accommodating for the athletes, but it makes me wonder if anyone is considering the fans in all of this. I personally prefer the regional format, open regionals games. This past year, there were only 2 locations in the United States, one being in Knoxville, Tennessee, the other one being in California. And if you live anywhere in the middle in between, it is not easy and it is not cheap to travel to these locations. Back in the day, there were just more options for fans. It would be really easy for CrossFit to send an email out to every open participant from last year, asking them what they would like to see in the upcoming season. I know I haven't gotten one. I don't know what the right answer is, but this kind of feels like punishment for the fans. That is all for this dense update. Links to all these stories will be in the caption of this video. Be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and also go head over to my Instagram for all of the latest happenings in the CrossFit community.